This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everyone. It's been said that if you want to have the best life, fulfilling, joyful, living your purpose, everything just feels good, you need to have balance. I mean, you think about it. If your car is driving down the road and one of the tires, one of the wheels is a little off, car is going to shudder a little bit. Now, make it two out of the four wheels, got more of an issue. It's out of balance. What do? You go to the garage and they balance your wheels. We're going to get you balanced today with a gentleman who has his eye on health, wellness, and fitness, and he does a fantastic job at that. Learned a lot ever since we've gotten together with Mike Redmond, who is back with us. How's it going, Mike?
It's going great. Things are moving. Today's the day where I realize, maybe I'll take things a little slower and just, make sure I'm meeting all my needs, make sure I'm getting the things met, make sure my kids are doing well and getting off to school and things like that well, and it's just taking some me time as well, and doing this great podcast today. So.
We're in the same mindset. This is kind of odd because I'm intentionally tapping the brakes in the last few days and leading into next week. And it's a product of, hey, it was a crazy busy summer. That's all good. Almost never said no to anything, whatever it was. I'm there. Yeah, let's go. Feel a little, a little taxed out. So I guess this comes in line with balance. I think maybe we were feeling a little out of balance. So tapping the brakes a little bit, maybe getting that aspect of our lives, kind of chilling. Even next week, I could be doing more, but I'm just
Yes.
gonna, go a little slow and kind of ramp back up as we change season. Why is
Yeah.
this whole balance thing so important?
Oh, our bodies are constantly seeking balance, through homeostasis. So it's something that's at a physiological level, it's something that's at a mental level, it's across the board. So our bodies always seek to put in a balance. There's an optimal balance, an optimal range that our bodies operate in, that our bodies think in, that our bodies can create in. And it's constantly seeking to get back in that range. When we do too much, we go to the high end of the range, or we can do go to the low end of the range too, and then our body kind of nudges us, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, and get back in that optimal range. So whether that's optimal things like blood pressure, whether that's optimal things like food intake, calorie intake, blood sugar levels, uh, hormones, all these things, they're all intertwined and affect us.
Wow.
And it deals with everything we take in our bodies, everything we do with our bodies, like we just said, going out and doing things and being active, that's all great, but there's times you can overdo it too. And I think it's human nature, especially in American culture, to want to overdo it. So it's there's times part of a great program for health and wellness is also saying, hey, let's take it down a notch once in a while. Let's evaluate. Let's take time for you. People
Mm.
will say, oh, you could do meditation, you could do different things. I focus on like just do something that's easygoing, calming, and take some time for you too.
I like how you have a practical approach. Last time we got together, my first question was, "What'd you have for breakfast?" And you said, bagel with a schmeat.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yes.
yeah, I didn't expect that. And I think it's fantastic that you're real. Yeah, you're a health and wellness fitness guy, but the bagel is okay, in
It's okay.
moderation. I guess
Moderation.
we would say if you do it too often, you're going to be out of balance. The
Your
thing that
body's gonna tell you. Your body's gonna tell you. You may start feeling a little for if you have too many bagels, you're gonna start feeling a little bloated. You're gonna start feeling a little sluggish. Your body's gonna let you know those things.
I find it fascinating in what you said that the body knows. So we may think there's a sweet spot for balance. If you take a look at all the things that, and I want to get to in a moment, those things that need to be balanced, but we may think we know the range, but your body knows the score. It knows for sure
Yeah,
better than we do. But how do
yeah,
you tap into that? How do you know what? And of course, listen for the signs. You know, your body's going to talk to you. You need
yeah.
to listen. But yeah, sometimes when it starts talking, it's a little too late and it's way out of balance. How do you know what's
Also true.
perfect for you?
Also true. I think that's where, again, seeking sometimes some outside help, and what I try to help with in any good program, is becoming more aware of what your body's telling you. We get so focused things on work and our phones and distractions
Yep.
and then we kind of tune out our bodies. So it's coming back in and taking some time to be aware of our bodies. Okay, what's your body do when you move? What's your body do telling you when you do this? How do you feel while you're doing this? How do you feel after you eat this? How do you feel about the things you are eating and putting in your body? So taking some time to be more aware of what you're doing in your body, what's going in your body, and then recognizing the signs, oh, my back aches when I do this. Well, let's explore that further. Why? Why is your back aching while you do this? Is it something with technique? Is it something that you had a previous injury? You know, is there something else going on? Oh, my body always feels like this after I eat a bagel or after I eat this. My body doesn't seem to take it very well. Well, let's explore that further too. Why is your body doing that? Is there some other, thing that you're missing that you could be deficient on in your diet that you or what you're putting in your body that you could put in a little more to make you feel a little better? So, are you having headaches? Is that coming from possibly low blood sugar or not having the right vitamins or this kind of thing? So taking that time, self-evaluating is a big part
Mm.
of designing a health and wellness program. So it
I want to
becomes
share this
part of it.
with you. I heard this literally yesterday and I saved it. And it's interesting how it's what we're talking about, I do believe. Um, Creating balance with the nine pillars of life. And the nine areas are career, finance, primary relationships, family, social, community, spiritual, health, and emotions. And the challenge is pick two or three of those and commit to change or balance them. And you're going to do that by taking one step to improve in the next 72 hours. So you pick two or three from that list and you
Hmm.
commit to make one step, one change in the next 72 hours, and you'll be
Wow.
closer to being in balance. The reason you have to pick two or three as opposed to just picking one is that if you work on just one, it's interdependent on the others. It's all about the balance. So if you're not
Yes.
working on a few of them, you're going to be very lopsided. I just heard that. What do you think about that?
Uh, I mean, I think it sounds very similar to designing a wellness program. And the pillars you're speaking of sound very similar to the pillars of wellness.
Hmm.
So seeking total wellness. So
Yep.
I like it. Can we even improve things from there and keep it going? I think so for sure. But I like it that you're picking more than one. You're picking a couple items to work on. You're looking for maybe not a quick change, but to make a change quickly, and then you can keep building on that. It's
Yep.
like, oh, we're gonna make a change for your wellness over the next 72 hours, and that gives people something to focus on. That gives people a goal. That gives people something to evaluate in the next couple days, and then we can keep building on it from there. So I
Sure.
like the challenge. I like the
Hmm.
challenge, Steve. It's I think it's a solid way to get people motivated and to get people thinking about their health and wellness. So
Yeah.
and yeah, all those things are intertwined. All those things are connected. You to have total wellness, you have to have good financial health and career health as well. And that's why I try to work with a lot of career professionals because, man, out here in New York,
Mm,
it can
mm,
be very easy to get out of balance when you have your career. You're going commuting into the city,
w-
you're working that 8 to 5, 9 to 5, sometimes later. So many people do it much later. You're commuting back, and it seems like work can take all of your time. And then what do? You get home, you're exhausted. So can
mm.
we improve things? Can we work on that exhaustion? Can we work on boosting that energy in natural ways through exercise? Believe it or not, exercise will help you with your energy levels. Even just 5 or 10 minutes a day uh, to what you're intaking in your body and working on those things to help give you a little better energy after your commute, after your working hours, so that you could do other things you want to do in your life. And that will help you feel more balanced.
What you said about the commuting and the hours and all of that, it's amazing how that can set things off balance. So about 11 years ago, I changed roles. I took on more responsibility in one of the jobs that I was doing, but there was three different roles. I was running a company, just bought a house. I was renovating a backyard.
Mm.
Kids were little at the time. Lots going on. So where was I out of balance? Just you bring back a memory. It's not about me, but I want to share it because I was out of balance.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting enough sleep. I was working a lot, getting up very early, multiple roles, a lot of stress, a lot of pressure. It led to an ulcer.
Mm.
And in addition to that, out of balance here again, I would be at work and, oh, well, it's time to eat again. I don't have time to get something. Let me open the drawer. Protein bar. Let me pop the protein bar in.
Mm.
Afternoon would go on. Well, I need to feel a little depleted. I'll grab another protein bar, whatever. So Balance Bar, it's a brand, Balance Bar. So I'm thinking,
Mm-hmm.
it's balance,
Mm-hmm.
right? Fat, um, carbs, and calories and everything in there, a protein, right? Until I get a call from the doctor's office and they said you need to come in, and I'm like, why? I said, no, just come in. I'm like, just tell me what's going on. Well, your labs came back and your triglycerides are like in the upper 300s. And I'm like,
Mm.
what? And it traced it back to the protein, the balance bar. Not
Yeah.
knocking it. I mean, it's okay. It's not a real meal replacement, and they do say that, but
Yes.
loaded with sugar. So
Yes.
I just loaded myself up with that, and then eventually that wasn't part of the ulcer, but that ensued a couple of years after that. So that whole period of time, I was radically out of balance,
Yeah.
very much so.
I hear you, Steve, and I think you're talking about things that a lot of people go through. I have two little ones. I have a 3.5-year-old and a 1-year-old. So
Wow,
yeah,
that
so
can throw
so
you as wonderful as it is. That can
it
really throw
is.
your life off balance.
Oh yeah, because they need your attention too. They
Yep,
need, so you don't always bring that attention inward because you're focused so much more on the outward, on your little ones, on your home,
yep.
on your pets, on your backyard, on all these things. So it's so easy to just grab a balance bar out, but you know, I I like to think what's always easy isn't what's always best. And let's try to plan, be more thoughtful so we don't always have to rely on those balance bars. Not knocking the balance bars either.
There's a place for them. You're in a
There's a
rush. You
place,
got to grab
but
something. Yeah.
yes, but again, I think you said it best. It's not a meal replacement. So let's focus on getting some good meals once in a while. Hopefully, even more than once in a while if we can build on it, and having more balance that way.
Mm.
One, that's going to do wonders for you. And then two, you're going to be like, man, I'm getting more energy from this food. What can I do with it? Well, maybe we can move a little more with it too. And if you move a little more, that's going to feel great too. So, Yeah, I
Yeah.
really appreciate you telling those stories, Steve, and giving some reflection there, because I think it's important to relate that what others are going through, and that's why I
Sure.
bring up the commutes. Whatever, so many people are going through this, and that we can help design good programs for those people, even amidst where you feel like you don't have time, where you don't have energy.
Yep.
We can focus on programs that not curtail, but that emphasize on reducing the effects of those things.
You don't know until you know. And I assumed,
Yeah,
it was okay. I didn't, yeah, yes, if I was more intentional, I could,
yeah,
prepared meals, but I didn't know. I thought that was okay.
yeah.
With what you offer, there is a lot of balance there. It's not just the fitness, it's not just the nutrition. Today we're looking at almost like the 360 wellness aspect of getting somebody where they should be. Everybody
Yeah.
is different. Can you maybe walk us through that journey where you design
hmm
a true wellness plan for somebody?
Yes. Yeah. The first step is one, you can visit redmondwellnessco.com and you can take a free assessment on the website, and that will trigger uh, a notification to me, and we can set up your first consultation. And that first consultation is also free. Letting that one go just because, that first one is more of an introduction to what the program is, an introduction in what I can do, and an introduction in how we can build a program together, because that's what it takes. It takes together. So after that, for people, they can go on the site and select. There's right now there's two different programs. You can either do 6 visits, which we can spread out a variety of ways, or 12. And from there, so the 12 being a longer program, we'll focus on longer goals that way. And from there, from the initial consultation, we'll focus on, okay, what are your goals? Let's set that. That's always the second step. After the first step is taking the assessment. We gotta do a baseline. We gotta figure out your baseline. Second, what are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? What are you feeling in your body? What are you feeling out of balance right now? And then setting up some actions like, okay, that's where my expertise comes in. Let's set up the program to bring that into balance, get you back to a even better baseline. We're going to build on that baseline and make it better. Build on your initial assessment and make it better, and use that to evaluate as we go along each visit and saying, okay, what'd you do today? What'd you eat today? Let's do this. Let's maybe try some of this. Let's try some physical activity. Uh, you know, let's try bringing some different varieties of fruits and vegetables into your diet.
Hmm.
So it's going to be different for each person. This is not a one size fits all model. It's the opposite. It's a model that focuses on the individual. So we take what you're doing and we try to add in little pieces, visit by visit, to achieve your goals. Okay. And I help you make those goals realistic for you, because it's so easy to be like, oh, I'm gonna, gain 200 pounds of muscle in 3 months. That's not realistic. I mean, even for the strongest people in the world, that's not always realistic. So, so let's focus on making those goals realistic, piece by piece. And then we do some evaluation after 3 or 4 visits, or depending on the program you select, and then we see where that new baseline is, and then we keep building off that. And then at the end, we decide, if you want to continue on, or if you have some new goals we can focus on, and things like that. If not, I set up with a closing program for some continuation and maintenance, as you go along. And then I'm always available uh, to those people, if they had some ideas or if they just want to bounce some things off me. I'm always happy to just share. So that's kind of the how the program runs, and incorporates all three of those pillars that we talked about: health, fitness, wellness, and nutrition. So I guess four, and they're all kind of interconnected there. So, um, and that's kind of how I'd like to structure things. I do offer also for clients um, monthly payment plans. So I try to make this as cost reductive as possible. So I'm not one of those coaches that say, "Oh, you got to pay it all up front." No, we've set up a system where people can make it a little easier on that financial health as well, setting up monthly payment plans as well.
So would you say that there's one area that most of us are out of balance? Would it be
Mm.
nutrition? Would it be fitness? Or
Yeah,
I know it's a
yeah,
moving target, everybody's different, I get it, but by
yep.
and large, if you had to identify, which
hmm
do you think it would be?
it's a combination. I think it's those two. Usually we are out of balance in some aspect of what we're eating. We eat in our American culture, we can eat too much things like fast food, too much starchy and carb-based things that not, and trust me, I'm a huge advocate for carbohydrates. I think at times carbohydrates are some of the best foods you can get, but there also is
Hence the
variety.
bagel, hence the bagel.
Yeah, yeah, you bet. You bet. Bagel with veggie cream cheese on it. Hey, gotta get those veggies in too. So
I
I'm
didn't
all
even know they
about,
made that, to be honest with you. So now that's on
yeah,
my radar.
yeah.
Hmm.
I'm all about come out here, Steve, and I'll show you where you can get some of the best bagels on Long Island.
Well,
So
we are blessed. Just coincidence, we both happen to be on Long Island,
yeah.
and just saying, we do have the best bagels and also pizza. There's always
Yeah.
that battle
Oh
of
my
who's
God.
got the best pizza. Um,
Yes.
you know, is pizza relatively healthy? What do you think?
This was a question I was asked in college on a kind of like health contest, if you will, put on by our college student union. And they asked me this, and that here I am, a health and wellness student, a kinesiology major and health and wellness minor, up there, and they're like, "Is pizza healthy? What's the correct answer?" And I said yes. And they're like, yes, it is. It's balanced. You have sauce, you have some balance there
Yeah, protein with the
between.
cheese.
Yes. But just like anything, can you overdo it? Yes. Can it be greasy and a little fattening as well? Absolutely. So it's all how it's prepared. It's also how much you intake. One slice can be great for you. 10 slices, if you're doing 10 slices in one sitting, okay, that could lead to some problems. That could lead to some overdoing it. And let's talk about, what we can do. Maybe a pizza and a salad. Maybe a
Okay.
piece of pizza and a side of broccoli rabe, and things like that. It's about having the variety.
Yeah.
I think pizza as a whole has some variety in it already. You have tomato sauce that has some ingredients in it. You have cheese, you have the crust that's going to be mainly carbohydrate based. So there's great things there.
Mm.
Um, can it be
And
a little
and
greasy
you
too?
put
Yeah,
vegetables on top of it. Now you're getting veggies, you're
exactly.
getting uh,
Exactly.
fiber. And what I
Yep.
do, because I feel it's like a little out of balance in terms of much more carbs. A lot of times I'll eat a slice if I have two, and maybe I'll leave the crust for the most part.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but
No,
I'll
no.
just less
Sometimes that
carbs.
crust is good.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mike, how do we engage with you? How do we connect?
The best way, like I said, is redmondwellnessco.com. And again, take the free assessment there. It'll trigger an automatic notification to me, and then we can set up your first consultation. So that's the best way. And yeah, yeah, let's get into balance
Yeah.
together,
And
Steve.
this can
Let's,
be done virtually anywhere. You can pilot people just because
yes,
of technology. It makes
yeah,
it easy. Mike, thanks
yeah.
for all the insight. And now like kind of refocus on the balance thing. It's so important. I personally, I think it's everything. And
I agree.
your body will tell you. Uh, we'll catch up
Thanks.
next time. I really appreciate you being here today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Steve.
Thanks,
Take
Mike.
care.
You too.
This is the Global Podcast Network. where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.